When's the last time you watched a Utah Jazz game? If the answer to that question wasn't the last time they played, then you're seriously missing out. And it's the wrong answer. This has been, these past 2 seasons, the best time to be a Jazz fan since the days of Stockton and Malone. And if that sounds crazy to you, consider this statement. I believe the Jazz will make an NBA Finals appearance either this season or the season after that. That might sound crazy, but it's my goal today to explain to you why A, it's not crazy, and B, why you need to be paying attention. The last 5 seasons of the NBA have been pathetically, depressingly predictable. If you had made the statement in September, before the seasons ever started, that the Golden State Warriors will make the NBA Finals and probably win a title, you wouldn't have been very wrong. In fact, they did make the NBA Finals all 5 of the last seasons, winning 3 of the 5, with their 2 losses only probably happening because of player suspensions and player injuries. That is pretty depressing, and it's predictable. But the good news is, after this offseason that we've just experienced in the NBA, that predictability has gone way down. There is so much parity across the board because of star player movement that I can't think of the last time we had this much parity. Let's just say since ever. Why I want to relate this to the Jazz? Well, let's think about this. Across the board, there are about 12, maybe 13 teams that could arguably say that they could be favored to win a title. That's insane. And recently, Las Vegas odds have given the Jazz a 4th placed shot. Out of all 30 teams, the Jazz ranked 4th in Las Vegas odds. I can't remember the Jazz ever placing that high. That's why you need to be paying attention. What's so special about this offseason? Well, the Jazz have made some pretty key additions. They traded the Memphis Grizzlies for Mike Conley. Mike Conley is possibly the most underrated player in the NBA today. And not only that, he's also the most efficient point guard. Why is the most efficient point guard so unloved? He's going to do great things for the Jazz in their system. Another thing they added was Bojan Bogdanovic from the Indiana Pacers. He came off of a season where he's been scoring 18 points a game, and he's been shooting 44% from the three-point line. That's ridiculous. Not to mention 54% from the corner threes. 54%. Catch and shoot corner threes. That's how good of a shooter Bogdanovic is. And guess what system he just joined? He just joined a system that generated the most catch and shoot corner three opportunities in the league last year. It's going to be amazing. This is going to open up so much for who? Donovan Mitchell. If you don't know who that is, shame on you. 2 years ago, Donovan Mitchell was drafted the 13th pick by the Utah Jazz, and everyone went, well, that's an interesting move for him. And then he broke out as a rookie. His past 2 years, he's been averaging 22 points a game. That's pretty dang good. And he's only going to get better. Why? Because last year he did the 22 points a game with everyone guarding him and the paint getting all packed on him. With Conley, Bogdanovic, the floor is going to be spaced. The paint's going to be wide open. He's going to feast. It's going to be amazing. Oh, and did I mention 2-time back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert? Number 27? If you don't know who that is either, well, then just stop listening to me talk, because obviously this is not what you want to hear. But anyway, the Jazz's head coach, Quinn Snyder, is a mad genius when it comes to basketball operations. He has a system in place that he's been dreaming of years for having 4 shooters surrounded by one big man named Rudy Gobert, that Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert just broke the regular season record for the amount of dunks made, and he did it with players crowding the paint. Why? Because Ricky Rubio wasn't a dependable shooter, and neither was Derek Favors. 2 of the players that, while we love them and will miss them, those are the players that the Jazz had to say goodbye to this offseason. They've been replaced by people who can shoot. It's going to be a thing of beauty. They're going to add into the system so well that it's been predicted that the Jazz will probably have a top 5 offense next season. Last season, they were the top 14th offense. 14 to 5. That's a big jump. The Jazz were second in defense last season. they might drop off a little bit, but not by much, because they've still got who? Rudy Gobert. So, you're looking at a potential team that's going to be top 5 defense and top 5 offense. Do you want to know why the last 5 seasons the Golden State Warriors were so predictable? Guess what? They had a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. Guess what that's going to be this year? The Utah Jazz. If you don't think they can win, you're not paying attention. Sure, they don't have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, or LeBron James and Anthony Davis, like the LA Clippers and the LA Lakers, respectively. But I don't care, because their system's going to be so much better. And it's going to work so well. Where was I? Oh yeah, the Jazz are going to win. Enough said. So, I want you to picture yourself now, whether or not you're a Jazz fan, whether or not you're an NBA fan, maybe even if you're just a casual fan, pay attention to the Utah Jazz. Picture yourself watching a team that's going to run the pick and roll so ridiculously effectively, and when the opposing defenses try to crowd up on that, they're going to have any number of players to kick it out to. Bogdanovich, Joe Ingles, they're all going to be able to hit these 3-pointers. It's going to be amazing. So again, now imagine if you are a Jazz fan and you haven't yet been paying attention. I went through a time when I didn't follow them as closely, but you know what? I kind of regretted that. But I started paying attention at the right time. Because this upcoming season, maybe they don't make the NBA Finals. I would love it if they did. I'm not saying they will. They have a chance. Maybe they're not the top team in the West. But they will undoubtedly, without question, be one of the funnest teams to watch. So yeah, you need to be paying attention. Oh, and did I mention, they might just win a title.